Um, to me, customer experience is about how you as a business deliver value to your customers. It's the business you're in. So all businesses have a value chain, and in that value chain, they look for opportunities to create value, to charge for value, and there's obviously points where value can be eroded, and all that is determined by how you connect and how you engage with your customers. So I think that's the starting point for digital transformation. Well, look, I think this is, it's just been a fascinating year. I think COVID-19 has forced the agenda. I think if you look at the most companies across the world and in our part of the world in Asia have been putting their toes in the water. Some companies have put their whole foot, some companies put their whole leg in the water in terms of what they needed to do and the opportunity that presented itself with taking advantage of digital technologies. What COVID has done is really just forced that agenda, because back in March or April, it depends on the timing, which jurisdiction or country you're in, effectively physical channels either shut down or were severely restricted in terms of access. And so companies had to be able to respond. Some had to respond just to stay alive, to survive, because without that physical outlet, they weren't going to be able to drive sales or revenue. For those who already had digital channels, they needed to augment them to be able to take up the workload. So, COVID is, in terms of digital transformation, COVID has been a great help to companies to get them focused on the opportunity and what they need to do to be able to deliver on that opportunity. I mean, imagine a pyramid here or a stack where at the start you've got your value chain, what you do as a business. Sitting underneath that is, how do I deliver on that value chain with respect to my customers? And let me add that that's not just about your end customers. How do I deliver on that value chain with my own employees? But let's focus in the first instance on the end customer or consumer. So what's the experience I'm trying to deliver? And how might I better enable that experience using digital technologies? Understanding that a consumer wants a seamless journey, whether they walk into your store or whether they call up a call center or whether they go online via their mobile app or whether they go online via a laptop. So how do you deliver that experience? What's the software and the application that sits behind that to support that experience? What's the intelligence and the analytics that you need to be able to then support that software and that transaction? So is it about data for you to run the business? Is it about data or information that you're presenting to your end customer for them to be able to transact with you? So sitting underneath that analytics or intelligence is your data platform, and that's all sitting on top of the technology stack, whether that's an in-premise data center or, as we're all seeing at the moment, that shift to cloud and using that as your hosting and your infrastructure. Well, because you can't do this in isolation. This is really, really critical. And I come back to using that term, the digital stack. What enables, and I know that we often point to some of these companies as great benchmarks, but they are great benchmarks. What enables me to use my Netflix service seamlessly from one device to another device? What enables me to, for them, to recommend 3 or 4 different shows that I might want to watch? That is about the power of them understanding my behavior and having software that enables that experience and that engagement to occur. So you need to bring together the data that sits within your organization. So, and these are the many challenges that companies have, where they say, where do I start on this? There's so much data in every organization. Every time I transact, every time I use a product or service, a piece of data is captured. But if I can't access it, if I don't know what to do with it, if I can't use it to predict behavior or to drive behavior, then I'm not going to get the benefit from that. So having a digital platform that brings together software, intelligence, data in a structured way is absolutely vital. There really are the two elements, I believe. So the first one is the software and your application portfolio, and this is both the opportunity and the challenge for most companies because, by and large, companies have probably 75 to 80% of their applications still sitting in a monolithic old programming language that anytime you want to make a change to that application, it needs a team of programming specialists, and 6 months later, you may get a result. So you need a strong cloud native architecture-based application platform to be able to deliver that agile and flexible experience. And then sitting on a data platform, I think that's the other big activity that I'm seeing clients undertake at the moment, which is how do I bring together all that structured and unstructured data from various applications I have? So some of that data sits in enterprise application software in your SAP environment. It sits in a custom software that you have that you've built internally. But and then there's transactional data that's happening based on events. So how do I bring all that together in a meaningful way that enables me to look at how I use that data to start building models and better engage with my end customer?